Well, hello, my beautiful Aries. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your twin flame reading for the end of November, right through the end of December 2025. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings, and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, I will be using Gaia chimes, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound. So let us start your reading and let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Aries, this is your twin flame reading for those twins who are currently in separation. The first pile will be your pile, the second pile will be your person's pile, and the third pile will be the unified energy of how things come together. Also, it is important to note that if anyone is mentally, physically, or emotionally abusive, that is not a twin flame connection. That's more likely to be a false flame connection, and that really will drain you of your beautiful love and waste your wonderful time. Now, I will give you a bite-sized idea of what it means to be in a twin flame dynamic. Please fast forward this part if you already know, or look up online. There's more online than I will give you, but I'll just give you a little concise idea of what it means to be in that twin flame situation. Get to your first card that I show up to the camera. That is the start of your reading, of course, if you are fast forwarding. But for everyone who is sticking around, twin flames, as you know, are magnetic. They are intense. You're drawn to your person like no other person. There's a depth to the relationship and an intensity like no other. It is all-consuming, almost obsessive right at the beginning. And remember, you are a magnet, and your person is a magnet. That's very important because I like to describe twin flames like magnets. Both of you are identical in frequencies at the very core of you. You share an energy that is the same, okay? So that's why you seek each other out in each lifetime, okay? Because you're attracted and drawn to each other. You will always find each other, okay? Now, if you think about two magnets that are identical in polarity, they attract each other, but also repel each other. There is that space in between. Now, the space in between looks invisible, like nothing's happening there, but something is having a reaction. There is something that is keeping the magnets apart, okay? And that something is the separation period on purpose when it comes to a twin flame dynamic, because both of you have to resolve things within yourself. Identify self-care, of course, embrace unconditional love, and connect to your sense of purpose before you can be with your twin, okay? And that work needs to be done before you and your person can come together in a union. It is not a game, it's an energetic exchange, okay? And there tends to be a runner, a chaser, and a separation period. Now, the runner, because it is a mirrored experience, whenever the runner looks at their twin, they are looking at things within themselves that they've been avoiding their whole life. Anything that needs to be resolved that they just don't want to look at, or it's too painful, or it's too overwhelming, they push their twin away because they are avoidant. Now, it feels very personal to the chaser, of course. The chaser is open to love, is willing to, open up to that vulnerability, to that rawness. Both of you feel it, but the chaser tends to be willing to surrender to it. Okay, there still needs to be work done for both parties. However, The chaser is more open to the union, and we can only meet each other as deeply as we have met ourselves. And the chaser tends to have done a lot of spiritual work before they even meet their twin. Not always the case. There isn't always a runner chaser and a separation period. You know, it tends to be typical to form. If two twins come together and they've done all the soul work, then they will come together in a match, and their frequencies have been changed. And of course, they're meant to be together, so they will find each other. But what is typical to form is that there is a separation period. Now, I always say do not wait for your twin, because they have a timeline to navigate themselves, okay? And this could take days, weeks, months, years, decades, your whole life. Never wait for anybody. You know, time does not wait for us, so we should not wait for others. Get busy living. Do the work within yourself, because you change that frequency within yourself. It's so important, because if you have those two magnets, if this is the chaser and this is the runner, every time the chaser reaches out messages, it perpetuates the cycle. The space in between does not change. It is the same. The frequencies have not changed one bit. So as soon as this magnet puts all the energy, devotion, care, focus inwards, changes the frequency. Now you're a different type of magnet. You're no longer seeking, you're attracting in a different frequency there. And of course, your twin flame will come a little bit closer, because the frequency is now different in one of the magnets. And then it encourages your magnet, your twin, to step up or step out. You know, when you have two magnets that are kind of like fighting the energy in between, okay, there's only two ways it could go. This can like change frequency so it can come together, or it will just perpetuate the cycle and it will choose to step out and just be in the same frequency that will keep the separation ongoing. Okay, so do not wait for your twin. Very important. Now, whilst the twin flame dynamic is very physical, a lot of chemistry, a lot of magnetism, a lot of electricity, it's all consuming. You may not be able to stop thinking about your person. It's almost obsessive, and both parties feel the same because you are twins. You just react differently to the way the emotions are affecting you. But it is worth noting that not everybody gets to be with their twin, because it is a very long process sometimes, and it is a very lonely experience during the separation period, because of course you yearn to be with your twin. But I'm telling you right now, what is meant for you will never pass you by. When the universe deems it is right for some sort of reconciliation to see if both parties have healed or done the work so they can come ever closer, then it will occur. You know, in a sea of millions of people, I bumped into my twin more than one occasion. So the universe will make sure you align to see if you can work it out. Every time the magnets get a little bit closer until they find a way of coming together. It is a very rewarding experience when you can spiritually evolve and connect to a sustainable relationship with your twin. But it's more of a spiritual awakening than it is an actual physical romantic relationship. Okay, I want you to be aware of that. It's more about accepting your twin flame activation, because twins tend to have a mission or a calling in life. And of course, once you connect to that and embrace unconditional love for self and do the healing work, then you can come together in a match. But it is a process that prepares both parties to release any lower vibrational energy that keeps either party stuck in addictive patterns, unhealthy attachments, cycles of repeat, fear, self-loathing. It can also be an energy of feeling low self-worth, trust issues. There can be many things in a twin flame dynamic that needs to be healed. It'll be very precise to you. Each twin tends to have had some sort of shared difficulty or pain. So this means the lesson will have been very similar. However, the experience will have triggered the shared difficulty and pain lesson. So whilst you may not have had the exact same experience, the lesson will be the same pretty much. And of course, your twin's job is to reflect back to you your greatest strengths, but also your greatest weaknesses. And this is where you start really dissecting your personal journey of discovery. And of course, it is an inner vibrational transformation. And it's a personal journey of discovery that must be done alone. That's why it tends to be very challenging. And once... Do you want those? I'm talking to my guides and they said yes. Once the work has been done, both of you can come together in a match. Now, twin flames tend to have had some sort of traumatic experience or challenge before they even meet each other. And that is the thing that needs to be resolved before they can come together in a union. Otherwise, this baggage will basically infiltrate the relationship and break it down. And it will just fester and it will not yield a healthy relationship. And people do say, why don't twins just say how they feel? Well, if you've been through some challenge in the past, it can be really hard to articulate your feelings from a healthy space. There may have even been learnt responses, unhealed, triggered responses there that basically the ego takes over so that it can protect a heart that has already been hurt. So it is easier said than done, okay? People are very complex, and sometimes when a person has been hurt or been through some sort of deep level of challenge or trauma, they don't believe they are worthy of love, and the fear that they will either mess things up or that they will be left. Abandonment issues, major thing that plays out in twin flame dynamics as well. Now, I'm not here to take anyone's side. I'm here to understand the dynamic so I can understand the outcome, okay? And I'll see what's going on with you and your person. I feel there's an energy of healing going on from your person. There's definitely healing of a mother wound here with your person, okay? No judgment here. I will try and seek to understand, but I feel right now, my beautiful Aries, you just want answers, okay? You're seeking to understand. This person holds the key to your heart, and you may feel that they have kept that key, locked it away, and you're like, well, it's really hard now to fall in love with anybody else because this person captured your heart. You love this person. I mean, deep down, and, I can only give you what the cards are giving me, so if this does not resonate, please, accept that it doesn't resonate. Don't ever try to make anything fit, but this is a reunion card. So at the deep core of you, my beautiful Aries, whoever I'm picking up on, there is a desire to reunite, to be back with your person. You thought you would settle down with this person, marry this person. You're all in. For some of you, you may have actually married your person. And if you haven't married your person, there's definitely high level commitment. You made an effort. You gave the whole of you. 10 of Pentacles, you imagined this person was a secure relationship. You imagined that they would join your family lineage. I feel this is an energy of celebration. It was an exciting time to be with your person. It was electric. You celebrated each other. You still celebrate this person, even though there is this energy of questioning, feeling uncertain. The key can indicate you saw this person as your destiny. And yes, they are your twin. But right now, the energy, there is some caution because we have the High Priestess and the Queen of Cups here. You and your person, there's two things coming through. One is codependency, and the other is learning to love yourselves from a healthy place. Because with the Queen of Cups, this is self-care. This is, an indication that you and your person need to find emotional security and happiness within yourselves. So you're doing a lot of healing. Your person in particular is doing a lot of healing regarding a mother wound. Now, either this can indicate that their parent or guardian passed away when they were young, or this can also indicate that they witnessed their mother be cheated on, okay? And they felt very protective, but they promised themselves that's never going to happen to me. So they kind of shut down their heart space in regards to love. Now, I'm just getting these energies swirling right now. There's something in the family. There is some sort of influence regarding family. So this could also be that there is a mother influence or a mother wound there. Again, no blame, but that's something that's coming through very strongly. But with that key, when you reduce it, 3 + 3 is 6, the Lover's card, you're trying to make some decisions right now. You're aware that you were all in. You love this person, but you're seeking answers like, why did this person shut down? What is going on there? Can they not see that you were destined to be together? Well, the answer is yes. The star energy and the 9 of Cups tells me how they feel about you. They find you very attractive. They see that you were literally a wish come true. However, the star energy indicates when you met each other, they were doing some healing work already. And for some reason, they couldn't factor you in, and I'm not sure why that is. Now, I am picking up something that perhaps is not going to play out in someone's relationship, but it's something I'm picking up on. I get an energy that either one of you were with somebody when you first met. Now, it could be something that was being closed out. Looking at the energy, my beautiful Aries, and don't shoot the messenger when I say this, the cards are pointing to you, okay? So it can indicate that this is how you feel about your person, but I'm getting that some of you may have been in a high-level commitment before you met your twin, okay? And I don't see that there was a crossover. I'm not even going into that energy. That's not my business, okay? But what I'm seeing here is one of two things. Either, you know, you were with someone before you met your twin and you know, then you met your twin, or it was the other way around, because it can be a mirrored experience that I'm picking up on. I'll always be honest and say I can't quite discern the energy. It's very blended right now. So I'm just trying to work out the energies that my guides are giving me. But the other energy is that someone was in a relationship and this is hanging over this particular relationship. So, for example, if you were in a relationship, my beautiful Aries, okay, and then you met your twin, and then you closed out the relationship that you were in order to be with your twin, somehow it's still hanging over this person's energy, like they compare themselves to this person or think, you know, am I enough to keep, Aries? There's something here about this person who feels like they're not enough connected to some sort of previous relationship. So let me just quickly pull a card on this. A lot of you Aries are going to be like, nope, I wasn't with anybody else, but I'm picking up on either you or your twin were in a relationship, a high-level commitment, and then you both met each other. You know, you both twins met each other, and then suddenly it was like, well, what do we do? Where do we go from now? The Tower. Ooh, it was a surprise. You didn't expect to meet this person. The Tower is to liberate, but I feel your person is a deep thinker. They're very sensitive, and they think a lot about how you are a dream come true. But there's something here about comparing to somebody else. The Tower is a shock. I feel also it's connected to your person's shock regarding a mother wound as well. But there's something here at the very foundation of the relationship that spun it out a little bit. So I'm not really sure 100% what I'm picking up on here. Ten of Pentacles can indicate marriage or high-level commitment or something in the family. And it's connected. Both of you are connected. Let me go one more. Can you show me a little bit more? Ooh, okay. Three of Wands. So it can be that you or this person were moving on from a shock regarding a high-level commitment or a family issue. That's all I'm being given. This person's quite private. It's almost like they keep projecting the energy. So that's why I'm like, is it Aries that had that? Or is it their twin that had that? It's almost like this person deflects quite a bit. Okay, so, you know, do forgive me for not being able to really discern that energy. Normally, I'm like bang on it. Like, that's what's happened here. I can feel that. I can see it. My guides are giving me this. Right now, your person's like, they're just really deflecting the energy. It's like, look elsewhere. Three of Wands is like, look over there. Okay, don't look what's behind me. Look over there. So this is something that perhaps maybe your twin has not taken accountability for. Maybe it is that your twin was connected to somebody and then you met your twin and it was all a little bit messy, and then there was a lot of shock going on there and a lot of surprise and transformation, and then it was like this shutdown energy. But I'm going to leave that there because if I can't really get it, I got to be honest, I'm going to move on there. I'm not going to tell you something that's not there. I'm not going to tell you something that's untrue, you know, so let's just leave that energy there and concentrate on the fact that you're seeking answers. You know that this was destined to happen, and I feel you want a breakthrough in this, okay? And I feel for some of you, my beautiful Aries, you may have contemplated messaging this person and saying, hey, do you want to meet up and just discuss this? Maybe just to get some closure, or try and find a way to have a discourse with this person. Because right now, in its present form, it feels like it's going nowhere. It's kind of like stalemate energy, because you've got a Ten of Pentacles. You're focused on your family right now. You're focused on your sense of purpose. You're focused on your finances, your stability. You want a long-term relationship, but this person has not yielded that for you. So with that Four of Wands, this can be an energy of wanting to reunite, but you're aware that this person cannot give you the love that you deserve and desire in this moment. They are healing something. They're starting to open their heart space. So there is change going on here, but healing must be complete. And looking at their energy, they've got the Star. The Star is the outcome. The High Priestess indicates a level of caution, withdrawal, but faith in the union, it feels like you and this person are kind of in between worlds right now, where you both want each other, you both want the same thing, but you have to find a way back home to yourself before you can have it. So, I mean, these two cards tell me that you are investing in your home, or you are finding a home within yourself. It feels like two people trying to heal separately, trying to work things out, make sense of a world that feels a little bit on its head right now. And you're leaning into family, friendships. Some of you are like, should I go out partying, mingle with like new people? I feel like you've been spun off to be very creative, but this is a card that indicates reunion. So I feel deep, deep down, whoever I'm picking up on, there's going to be loads of Aries out there like, nope, never want to see them again. But, you know, the Four Wands at the very core of you, if they come back to you good and actions and words co-align and there is reciprocity and accountability and they make an effort, then I feel like looking at the cards that have popped out there and the energy that's swirling in this reading, I would say you'd give it another chance. You'd be all in because you were so invested. You love so hard with this person and you don't love easily. So I feel a lot of you are actually seeking answers and you want some sort of communication, perhaps to even get closure on something. Okay? And your person, we've got the woman there. Now, this can indicate that they are softening in their heart space. They are open to love. They're learning to nurture themselves because I feel whatever it is that's needed to heal there. Also, thanks so much, I'm truly grateful. Your person sees you as someone who's very outgoing, very kind of like party lifestyle, even though, you know, you may not be out there partying, but you like to mingle with people, you like to experience different things. You know, you're in a period right now of celebrating yourself, but they see the lifestyle that you have. And again, there's this energy of like, can I keep up with that? Or am I good enough to enter that? It's almost like they see you as a certain status. Again, I don't know where this is coming from, but they look at you like you're from like a great family, or you have money, or you are of a certain status, or you've worked really hard, you have a lot of celebration around you, you're very successful. And there's this energy of like, you're everything a person could wish for, but would you wish for them? There's an energy here of low self-worth or feeling not worthy of your love. That's coming through here because the Queen of Cups is present, which means someone who is an overgiver or someone who is learning to be comfortable within their own skin and nurture themselves and be a best friend to themselves. And the High Priestess is very cautious energy. It is an energy of withdrawal in order to really deep think about what is going on under the surface there. This person, it's almost like they are trying to figure you out. They see you as an enigma or a mystery, as it were. And there just needs to be clarity here. Honest, open dialogue, laying it all out on the table. It feels like I've got two people trying to second guess each other right now. And there's no swords here. So it's like, where's the communication at? But in your person's separation with you, 29, of course, when you reduce it, is 11. So that's a soul path number. This person is aware that there's a lot of love. This is a card of being open to love, open to feelings. And if they've been emotionally avoidant, their healing is making them open up to their feelings. So I would say with the Nine of Cups that they are in an ideal situation to be ready to offer a high-level commitment relationship because they're sorting through the stuff. Nine of Cups is an indication they needed to feel fulfilled within themselves. Happiness only comes from within. So that is why I feel both you and your person were separate. You had to focus on your finances, on your family, on your creativity, on mingling. I actually get an energy of ambition with you, my beautiful Aries, where part of the separation period for you was to connect to your calling. There's something you had to do, something that required your time and your effort and your sociability, as it were, so you could get out there and network or get out there and do whatever it is you got to do, okay? Because remember, twin flames have a journey, a mission they need to complete, and I feel this energy of a mission going on with you right now. And I feel more than anything, of course, there's a healing journey going on with your person, but I feel your part of the separation period was for you to focus on your calling, on your family as well. Okay, so that's something that's swirling around your energy. And If you were just all consumed with your twin, then of course you wouldn't give a lot of your attention to the other things that you've been called to do in this lifetime as per your soul contract. That's something that's coming out. And with the Star and the Nine of Cups, I feel like your person is now in a period of wishing for love, wanting to open up to the love that you have available. But there needs to be some sort of communication. So let me just pull a card, because your person's just showing up as, oh, I'm healing. Well, what are you healing? What is it you're focused on? This person's getting a lot of clarity about their emotions, which is great. They're working out what they wish for in a relationship, but this is how they feel about you. They saw you as a healing presence. They see you shine, and that's wonderful. They want you to shine. They wish you to shine. However, your bright light then makes them feel like they're not enough. It exposes things within them. That's something that I feel deep down this person needs to work on, or is working on. I actually feel like they're so close to, being in a position to come towards you, to offer you love. There's still caution there, but it's to do with shining brightly. And the Ten of Wands, Page of Wands, and the Ten of Wands. Now the Ten of Wands indicates this person's had a lot of baggage that they needed to release, set themselves free from. The Page of Wands there indicates that, interesting. Thanks so much, I'm so grateful. I'm just going to bank that for a moment. My guides gave me something, but I'll come back to that in a moment. Page of Wands is curiosity. It is ambition, of course, but it is to find purpose. And of course, we can have many purposes in life, but I feel this person, they had to focus on something and they had to clear baggage. There's something here about a baggage. So maybe the projection was that they were in a relationship, they were shutting something down, or something needed to be closed or shut down or finalized before they could open themselves up to the twin flame dynamic. So that's something that's coming out there. Now, what my guides gave me here was an energy of sending a message to you about everything that's been going down in their life. So you will get a message from this person, okay? They're the person who's going to take action here, because looking at it, I feel like you want to be with this person. You celebrated this person. You want answers, and I feel like they want to give the answers to you. So that's kind of like where you both ideally want to be. Ten of Wands is there, though. Ten of Wands is an energy of heaviness. It's feeling stuck in a rut. It's being ready for change, though, and a need for change. And I feel this person has a lot of responsibilities. Yeah, there's something here about a mother wound. There is like this very faint energy coming through right now that some of you, your twins, may be a carer for a parent or guardian, okay? And that is a full duty and responsibility that they wanted to give their time and attention to, but they couldn't factor in love because it would take up too much time. They need to devote their energy to a parent or guardian. That's just coming through right now, but it's really faint. But there's definitely something to do with the family here. And with the Star energy as an outcome, this is a wish come true. It's like, what do you wish for in this twin flame dynamic? Your person is wishing for something. They're wishing for a happy ever after. And looking at your energy, you would like to reunite and be all in and be in a high level commitment with your person. So you kind of both want the same thing. So why is there caution? There's a secret here, a family secret. I'm being given a family secret, family secret. Okay, well, this person is very private. Even though they're going to share it with you, I'm not being privy to this family secret, whatever this is. Because these two cards can be like light is shed on a secret or something that's been held back. And looking at the energy, this person is not in a connection with anybody else. We've got number 16 there on this card. 16, of course, is the Tower energy, to break free from a cycle of repeat, to stop feeling stuck. This person does have a lot of duty and responsibility, but so do you, my beautiful Aries, and you still try to make it work. So with that number 6, 6 of hearts at the bottom there, this indicates balance, harmony, very chaotic person, very spontaneous kind of person. Sometimes reckless is what I've just heard from my guides, and they've been transforming that, but it is the product of something they've experienced from their past that they're healing. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. And my guide said, which you're not privy to. So I'm going to stop right there. Obviously, my guides don't want me to go to that place. But there's healing. Your person is healing. That's all you need to know. They're actually doing the work. And of course, there is a lot of love there. This is your outcome for both of you. It's like there's love. Both of you have fallen in love. Both of you have understanding and empathy. Both of you want to be a lover, a twin flame, a friend, a companion. There's a lot of affection there. There's a lot of care. Okay? But the High Priestess indicates you're both in a transition period. The High Priestess is mute, doesn't speak, observes. So I feel this is a period of observation for you both, a period of separation in order to really look at your feelings, to understand yourselves in a deeper way, to open to unconditional love for self. But also, I feel you can come back together in love. And with that High Priestess energy, there is still a little bit of caution. I'm just going to pull some cards just to see beyond this, because I'm not seeing any kind of like communication, but the Page of Wands came out and the Page brings news. So I feel like your person will message, but I just want to see beyond that. This person is like very vague, okay? I gotta be honest with you. This person's like really, I feel like they're feeling lighter in their energy. It's almost like they don't want to go there because they're so nearly complete in their healing process. They're like, I'm done. I don't need to reflect on that. Or that's not your business. That's just private. Okay, we're just going to move on from that. But I do feel like they have done the work because the cards and the energy are saying so. We have the Nine of Wands. Very guarded, hurt person. Definitely some wounds going on that are being healed. But the Nine of Wands yields questioning. It kind of helps people lean into their sense of uncertainty to find that inner wisdom. The inner wisdom is telling you something. Your inner wisdom is saying you feel deep down that this is not the last that you've heard from your person, my beautiful Aries. You just know that you're going to reconnect. You just feel it. You feel them. There is an unspoken, invisible bond between you both. Think of the magnets. You can't see the connection, but there's definitely a connection that's drawing both magnets together. We have the World energy. Now, the World energy indicates that you're at the end of a cycle. It indicates that there is an accomplishment of knowledge. There is a fulfillment. And it often means to feel whole within oneself. You are not searching for your other half. Your twin is not your other half. Your twin is connected to you via a bond, and you're both complete and whole all by yourselves. Your twin, when they come back in healthy energy, they complement your life. They do not disrupt your life, okay? So this is an energy of completion, of learning. It is also an energy of alignment. And I would say that there's a new chapter here. Looking at the energy, we've got the Knight of Cups. Look at that. Love will bring you both together into a new era, a new cycle. But I feel you will not get this message until the end of the year from this person. Okay, it's like as the year comes to a close or something comes to a close here, Knight of Cups is an offering of love, an invitation. This person may give you an invitation actually, but they're certainly going to message you with a compliment, praise, high praise indeed. And it's going to be a message where they remind you how much fun you had together. Now, this is interesting. This person's going to remind you of that, but it's important that all the stuff has not been swept under the carpet. This person needs to take accountability for actions, be responsible for how things went down. I mean, I don't see any drama here. I don't see like this kind of like, yes, the Nine of Wands is there. There's two very hurt people, two very guarded people, two people trying to deal with life and understand each other and like go, why can't we be together? This is unfair. I don't understand. So it could be something that you actually have a lot of empathy for. Maybe you understand this person's reasoning. I'm not sure. This is a very unusual twin flame dynamic. But then you are unusual, my beautiful Aries. You're someone who likes to source both sides of the story. So I do feel some sort of reunion energy going on, some sort of invitation to something. I'm just going to go get some final cards for you. So this deck is awesome because it is conversations that have been left unsaid or that reaffirm what went down in this reading. Something about your smile I'm being given as well. Okay. Pick up your troubles, come on, get happy is what is coming out right now. Now this is, Okay, so perhaps this is the energy that you're in. It's almost like, you know what, yes, you're going through some stuff, but you couldn't like really dissect it right now because you're being practical about life. You're just getting on. You have responsibility. You have the Ten of Pentacles there. Listen out for that song because you may hear that song just before your person reaches out. Okay, that was just random that came through there, okay? Your reading actually has been very random. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Aries? What else do they need to be aware of in this twin flame dynamic? Can you please show them the way? Ooh, my guide said one more, so one more it is. Well, I'm trying to trust in divine timing. Just popped out there for you. I feel like you are acknowledging that what will be, but with the Four Wands, there's this knowingness that you know you're going to hear from this person again. This is not the last of the interaction with this person, and I feel like you will see this person face to face as well in your future. I keep seeing signs of you everywhere I go. This is something your twin will tell you about, and it makes them happy. It actually makes them smile. There's going to be a conversation about your smile. Okay, I mean, it could be that they say, I miss your smile or something like that, but there's going to be something about a smile. I pretend I don't care because I care too much. People who are very sensitive, I mean, there are a lot of sensitive cards here. They tend to wear a very strong suit of armor in everyday life. This person projects, as I said at the beginning, this person definitely projects energy, okay, in order to deflect from the fact that they are very sensitive. They get hurt easily, and they are exactly as they are meant to be, so they don't need to transform that part of themselves, but they do need to conquer intrusive thoughts, conquer, feeling overwhelmed with their emotions. Emotions are there to be an inner compass, a guide, to let you know how you feel about the environment that you're in or the people that you're encountering. So this person may be working on something regarding their emotions, as I mentioned earlier, but it feels very much private. I know I hurt you. I never intended to. And I feel there is a part of you, my beautiful Aries, that really does understand that. Again, that's very unusual for a twin flame dynamic. We've also got, I never felt a love like this before. I feel this is something that is true to this person because they've got the Nine of Cups. You are everything they ever wish for. There may be an insecurity about you being very popular or, shining your light or people being drawn to you, that has triggered some of their fears about not feeling enough or that you could choose anybody else but them. They want to know why you've chosen them when you could have anybody. But there's an energy here of like, and I'm just going to put it out there, okay? It's just something to do with reuniting with an ex or being in a high-level commitment with someone, and maybe they're still a friend, or maybe they're still around, or maybe they've come sniffing back into your life in some way, and your person's like, I'm out, because it has triggered some fears within this person that they've gone away to look at, but they'd be happier with you than without you. So that's the way that they're coming around. So I'm just going to leave that there because that may resonate with someone, may not, but I have to honor it because it has been swirling. It's almost like I've been like tiptoeing around that energy because I'm not sure who was in the relationship or whose ex is coming back or came back. And there's nothing there. I mean, there's nothing more to it but an ex trying to re-enter someone's life because both of you actually want to be together. Looking at the energy, you want to choose each other. You don't want to choose any exes. That doesn't stop exes trying to come back, but I'm going to leave that there. And it says, no one makes me feel like you do. Okay, so I feel looking at the cards, I mean, if you had different cards for your person, I'd say, oh, this is projecting. But the cards highlight what these cards are saying as well. So you're going to have that conversation in your future with this person. I just heard quarter to midnight. Quarter to midnight. So either that is a time that you will hear from this person, quarter to midnight. I don't know if it's a song or a book or a poem or prose. I don't know. Quarter to midnight. I'm going to look it up, but I just heard it. Whew, okay, that was intense. We also have, sweet home, something in the home. Home is where the heart is. You both had to come home to yourselves first. I think I mentioned that in this reading. It's a little house there with a heart on it, but it says sweet home. So I feel that you and your person can come together in a long-term sustainable relationship. However, something connected to the home space that needed to be resolved or needed to be a responsibility for a certain period of time before you came back together in a union. I think this is one of the most unique twin flame readings I've done. I hope it does resonate with someone out there, because it was very complex and it's certainly not going to resonate with everybody, but I hope it does reach somebody and resonate in some shape or form. So I'll leave it there. Thank you so much, my beautiful Aries, and love and light.